Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. If you guys are new here, my name is Alison. So for today's video, we're testing out another new foundation. This is quite new, I would say. It's an Estee Lauder Double Wear Sheer Long Wear Makeup SPF 15 of a foundation. So I'm gonna test it out throughout the day and give you guys my final thoughts. So if you guys have oily skin, any pro skin, and texture skin, then let's keep on watching. But before we start on that, if you guys have not subscribed on my channel, please subscribe down below if you guys are into fashion, beauty, lifestyle, foundation, and I recently do a lot of vlogs. So if you guys are into that, then make sure to support me here and subscribe down below. And now let's get into the foundation review. Alrighty, let's get into this foundation review. So first of all, I'm going to talk about the base that I use today. So first of all, BECCA Under Eye Brightener. You guys know the drill. This is something that I do every single time when I put on my makeup, so it just give me that brightener effect and it just kind of cancel out my dark circle. And for primer today, I'll be using this Sisly Double Tense Primer. I have this for a while and it's very expensive with this Sisly product, but it does the job for winter and summer if I need a little more of a hydrating, easy to blend, kind of like serum primer. This would be the one to go with. Alright, while we're letting it sit, we're gonna apply the concealer. You guys know I always apply my concealer before my foundation just because I need that extra coverage, kind of marinate it into my skin, give me more coverage. So today I'll be using, actually every single day I'll be using this MCGRATH concealer in L5. So you guys can see I am almost running out with this concealer. I want to quickly share with you guys some fun fact of how much I love Estee Lauder foundation. So this is the foundation that we're testing out today. This is the Estee Lauder Double Wear Sheer Long Wear Makeup with the SPF 19. So this is more of a sheer coverage of an Estee Lauder, and nowadays I feel like a lot of foundation, it comes out with like CC cream, tinted foundation, more of a sheer finish, but your girls still like that full coverage. So actually I have two favorite of foundation from Estee Lauder. So first of all, this is nothing new. I'm sure a lot of you guys heard about this. This is Estee Lauder Double Wear Stay in Place makeup. This used to be my holy grail. I mean, it's still my holy grail just because the coverage that it gives me and the shade match is perfect. And this is the Estee Lauder foundation that I wear throughout the whole day on my face and it doesn't wear off. It holds up very nicely. And another Estee Lauder that I try out, this is also a Double Wear Maximum coverage with the SPF 15. So this is more of a full coverage than the Stay in Place, but they both work amazing on my face, on my skin. I do have oily skin, so just in case you guys are wondering, on my Double Wear Estee Lauder Stay in Place foundation, I'm in the shade 2N1, which is Desert Beige, and on the Double Wear Maximum coverage, I am having this in the shade 2W2 with its Ratten. So usually I go through between neutral to warm tone just because my skin tone in the winter time I tend to be more neutral, and on the summertime I'm more of a warm tone, depends on my tan. So a little bit about this foundation. So first of all, I did purchase this on Sephora.com, and this is called Estee Lauder Double Wear Sheer Long Wear Makeup SPF 19, and it retails for $43. It comes in 1 ounce. And I got this in the shade 2N1, which is Desert Beige, more of a neutral tone. So this foundation, it comes in 26 shades. So again, this is a sheer natural matte foundation with up to 12 hours wear SPF and skincare benefits. It is a light coverage matte finish with an SPF 19. This foundation, it will give you a visible, perfect with a softly diffused matte finish. It's undetectable formula and enhanced skin with enough coverage to let your natural beauty show. The foundation visibly evens skin tone and smooth skin's surface. It resists sweat and humidity with no kicking and help protect against UV rays and pollution with SPF and antioxidants. And this foundation, it claims to be contain less than 1% of synthetic fragrance. So it does have a fragrance in it, but it's less than 1%. So just in case you guys are concerning with heavy fragrance, so this one, it's gonna be a very light fragrance of the foundation. Alrighty, let's get into the foundation bottle. You guys can see it comes in this packaging. This is what it looks like with the Estee Lauder foundation with the open cap. and squeezy bottle. So usually with the sheer foundation finish, it comes with a squeeze bottle instead of a pump. It's because it's more lightweight, but the packaging is to give you that of a luxury look. So this is the packaging from Estee Lauder. So here it says shake well, just because it does have the SPF and you want to shake well to have the foundation mix in with whatever is in there so it doesn't have a separation texture. And they said use finger to spread it out because it's pretty liquidy. You guys can see the texture. It's very liquidy once I squeeze it out. It kind of feels like I am applying sunscreen because I've been applying sunscreen quite often these days being out under the sun. So it kind of gives me that texture feeling of applying a sunscreen. I'm just gonna put a little more on the forehead. I'm gonna check out the coverage. Usually with finger application, it gives you a better coverage. So definitely the shade is a little lighter. This probably would be my winter shade, but lately I've been getting a lot more tan. So I'm gonna go in with my L sponge and see if it makes it look more natural finish. So I feel like this is like the best I can get with the foundation. You guys can see it kind of just lighten my skin, but with not much coverage. I'm gonna do it on this side of my face. You guys can see my bare skin right now. With finger again, I want to spread it out so it doesn't absorb in the sponge, and then I'm gonna use this to spread it out. All right, last coverage I'm gonna apply and see if it gives me just a little bit more of a coverage. I know the shade, it doesn't match me right now, but again, this could be my winter shade. But now that I'm only testing their coverage, all right, out of curiosity, I want to try out to see if the shade is different. Here you guys can see on more of a solid form, lighter shade. This is the Stay in Place 2-in-1, and with the more liquidy formula, which is what we are trying right now, we are testing it today. This is the sheer foundation that we're testing out, and also in the shade 2-in-1. So the shade range, they are the same, and the bottom one you guys can see over there, this is 2W2. So this is probably 2W2, my summer shade. And for my foundation twinsy, if you guys are looking for this foundation in the shade, you guys can go for 2W2 with my summer shade right now. All right, I feel like I'm not gonna build this up anymore just because you guys can see the coverage is pretty light, and it does have a layer of kind of like a sunscreen texture on the face. It's not as lightweight, but it says it dries down to matte finish. I would say it does dry down more of a sheer matte finish, not fully matte. I don't think I like the finger application, but first I would say use it with your finger before using with a sponge, because with a sponge it would definitely absorb all the products. So make sure to spread it out with the finger and then blend it in with the sponge to give you the more natural finish, coverage on the face. I already know my final thoughts on this foundation, but I want to see how it stays throughout the day for me with the oily skin. So I'm gonna just set my face with loose setting powder. That's what I use every single time when I do my makeup, because I have oily skin. I'm gonna set it and I'll come back with you guys and see how it works with another makeup on top. All right guys, the makeup is done. I'm doing a very natural makeup look without my lashes, just because I'm gonna go in and work out later on. But right now, I wanna give you my quick thoughts about this foundation. But first of all, ignore the shade range. I purchased my winter shade instead of my summer shade, and I do get a little bit more tan lately, but I wanna show you guys the coverage. It's quite light of a coverage, and the blendability is, I would say again, like a sunscreen. I kind of compare this foundation as a sunscreen, like a sunscreen tinted moisturizer, if that makes sense. So this foundation, it does blend like a sunscreen. It kind of have that oily kind of texture. It's just a very little, similar to sunscreen. And also it does dries down more of a sheer matte finish, not completely matte as like a matte foundation. And the coverage also is very light. You guys can see on the tip of my nose, the foundation is not staying in place. It kind of just enhances my whiteheads on the tip of my nose, but then the foundation, it doesn't stay put. As well as my chin area, you guys will see it just enhance my pores, like on the pores that it show enhance like the little dots instead of like a coverage on top of my face. So I did exfoliate yesterday before using this foundation, so I'm not sure why it doesn't stay well with my T-zone area. But on the rest of my face, you guys can see the coverage is very light, very minimal. And once that I try to blend in my contour, it doesn't blend in very nicely because I was afraid the foundation move around, just like on this side of my face. You guys can see the foundation kind of move around as I blend it in, so it does move around pretty easily with this foundation on top. So that's my initial thought, but I'll come back with you guys and see my oil situation, how it works throughout the day, and I'll give you guys my final thoughts, and I'll see you guys soon. Alright, I'm back for the final check-in, and now it's 10:01. I've been wearing this foundation for about 10 hours now, and this is what it looks like. I haven't blocked my face at all, so you guys will see my forehead is pretty oily, and the rest of my face is oily, but it's not as oily just because I have a face mask on this area, so it kind of just take off a little of the foundation. As you guys can see, the foundation on my tip of the nose, it was never on there because I have texture skin. With this foundation, it just doesn't stay on to my nose area and on my chin area, so you guys can see the foundation only cover up to this area on my nose, and the rest of it is just my bare skin. And also on the side of my face, you guys can see the contour is a little off. So I feel like this foundation, if you have oily face, oily skin, it will take off the foundation like makeup easily. You guys can see the coverage on here. I'm pretty oily and it just take off right away. And I feel like the base is really important underneath your makeup. So this foundation, I would rate it about 4/10, just because it doesn't stay on my texture skin, and even though I exfoliated the night before, and it does get me a little oily. Also, I just really not a fan of the application and the texture of the foundation. Using a finger's application is fine with me, but using a finger, it should give me more of a coverage. But with this foundation, it's a very light coverage. It feels like nothing in my opinion. So this foundation is kind of like sunscreen texture, so I feel like throughout the whole day there's a texture on the face. So with that being said, not a fan of this foundation, not liking it. The texture, the feeling that on top of my face throughout the whole day, it wasn't great. So when I look into the foundation, I look for texture, coverage, application, and how it stays throughout the whole day for my oily skin, and also how it wears throughout the day. And that is why I'm here for you guys to test it out for this foundation for you guys. So if you guys like this video, don't forget to give me a big thumbs up here to support me, and also subscribe down below on my channel, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye guys.